Well, hey everybody, it's Friday. That's a good day. It's been a long week and I have not gotten much sleep this week. But anyway, this is hopefully going to be a good weekend because hopefully that thing over there will be running tomorrow. But Oliver Phil should be coming over. I'm not going to talk a whole lot about it because we've been talking about it, but I'm hoping that tomorrow that thing is filling the shop up with some fuel or exhaust. Anyway, what I did do this week is I did pull the hoods out. I washed them off, kind of tried to polish them up a little bit. The paint on here is really flaking pretty bad. So my Scotch Brite pad trick that I use on a lot of stuff isn't going to work because I'm just going to knock all the paint off. But both hoods are there. They're actually the inside. If you look, the red is pretty good on these. So you could probably polish that up and get a good paint coat off of that if you were to read that. But anyway, I also brought around the cast front. In the parts book, I noticed they were calling for some spacers. And I'm like, what the heck are the spacers for? And I figured it out. Looking at these holes down here, so it's 1/2-inch bolts, and these are over 3/4 big holes. So the spacers just fit in here, so your bolts go through them. So I've got those on order. One of the things I want to try to do this weekend is clean this thing up, and I'll probably just rattle can it to make it look good so we can get it on there. And I remembered I got a few other things I need to do. What else did I do this week? There's more of the hood pieces that I cleaned up. Just found a wire wheel wire stick in my pocket here, but that's because I wire wheeled the crap out of at least this rim, and so you can see it doesn't look too bad. Made it all the way around. I will say the Hercules angle grinder from Harbor Freight, at least 1.5 thumbs up. Doesn't seem to have the power of the Milwaukee's, but I didn't blow it up and I worked it hard. But I did the inside of this rim just a little bit, but I did do this side quite a bit, and there was quite a bit of paint on it. Yeah, this one you can maybe see a little bit better. That those there I think are brush strokes. I think somebody brushed on some paint, so there's a lot of paint on there. And what I did is, it was such a pain doing that, and I got thinking about it's going to take a lot of sand. And so anyway, Oliver Phil's got a buddy that's going to sand. I'm going to take these two. We're going to take them over there tonight and sandblast them, and then they'll be cleaned up. And it won't. My sandblaster is good, but these should probably go to somebody that's got an actual trailer compressor that can do that. And I guess the only other thing that I'll show real quick tonight, because I'm going to go out and cut a little grass, load those rims, but up here underneath, there's no puddles, so it has held all the fluids that we put in it this week. I did watch Oliver Phil's video. He made a video rebuilding that Vickers pump. It's on his channel. If you ever wondered what one of those, he does a great job of going step by step all the way through a Vickers pump. But anyway, hopefully tomorrow he'll come over and we'll get this thing get the battery cables on it and get some wiring done and fire this thing up. So that's where we are today. And like I said, I'm going to load up these rims. I'm going to clear out some things so I can get the mower out and just go up around the house. And yeah, it's cold. It's 40 and windy, but the grass is growing like crazy. And so I'm at least going to knock it down in the places that grows the fastest. So, all right. We'll be back out here tomorrow and, like I said, see if we can fill the shop up with some exhaust. Well, it's Saturday. Just ran that A4T up and down the driveway a couple times. I do think my clutch issue is so much better. So maybe I'm out of the woods on that. I'm not sure. But anyway, here's the cast front. I made drilled some holes in some 2x12s and to hold that up, but I just kind of cleaned it up a little bit this morning and put some white paint on it, so it'll be a little bit better than it was because it was kind of the Oliver Clover white. So Phil is on his way over, I believe, so hopefully we will hear shortly be working on getting this thing a little bit closer to running, and probably, hopefully, fingers crossed, running today. Well, Oliver Phil made it over, and we just made these battery cables. So I think they look pretty slick. The ground goes up to the cab there. That's where the old ground went, but we've got everything hooked up. Now we just need to hook up a couple other wires, and then we'll try spinning this thing over and see how it does. Hopefully all good, but that definitely looks a lot cleaner. We got to do this to the other one. The other one, if you've seen it, it's got a mess of wires on it. All right, Phil is cracking the injector lines up there so that we can bleed it, because it's a new filter, everything, so there's no fuel anywhere in the system. You can see I got my nurse tank set there with supply line and return line going into it. And in a minute here we'll crank it, and while we're cranking it, we should get oil pressure coming up here, and eventually, so that'll be good. All right, I'll let him get done doing that, and then we'll do some cranking. All right, take two. We hooked up a 12-volt supply pump so we can get, since he did a new fuel filter, we needed to get at least fuel supplied to the pump before we kill the batteries cranking it. So now I'm holding it to prime. He's going to crank it over. Well, we are going to have to get some juice in the batteries, put a charger on it. Should have done that last. All right, so they had two wires going to the injection pump. We realized we only hooked up one, it went to the alternator, and we realized the other one's there because it's got to have power when it's not, the one from the alternator is not going to have power till it's running. So we got Phil's truck in here, and we got jumper cables, long ones, all the way up to the batteries to hopefully give us power. And so Phil's going to be up there to because we've kind of got everything jumper together here just to try to get it to fire. So he's going through that and see if we can get it started. Just by cranking it, the fluids have gone down just a little bit, not enough to add anything yet. So we will see how this goes. All right, here we go. Now, not enough battery power, but we were getting good smoke there, so let the batteries charge us a little bit more. All right, we're gonna give them another shot. Hopefully we got enough juice. Not quite. It's very disappointing. I was gonna put battery chargers on those batteries. I'm like, oh, they're brand new, and stupid me should have done it. All right, here we go. Did you do that? Did you shut it down? All right. Well, she started. Now we got to check our fluids. All right, we put about a gallon in the hydraulic. Just getting the air out of the system, we think. I've got no oil pressure shown on the gauge, which doesn't mean anything because it's a new gauge. All right, we checked it. It's got, obviously we're getting oil pressure. You might have had air in that line. Holding about 60. Turn the steering wheel a little. Got steering, lift up to 3 point. Both ways. We're going to shut it down and check our fluids. Let's shut it down and check fluids. Alright, we're going to check fluids again real quick. And we're filling up the shop. Put another about gallon or gallon and a half of hydraulic fluid in it. I don't know how anybody runs a straight pipe pump like this. Just need to get this wire hooked up. We just find out where it goes on the wire harness to give it power when the key comes on and it's running. Once that's on, then, but that's the same place the fuel pump will go eventually too. So, oh, it's a good day. I'm glad it's running. I'm glad we were able to get it going. I am seeing there's fluid dripping from someplace back here. Got to figure that out. See it down there. It is. Down underneath there. I don't know, I'm gonna have to trace that down and see where that's coming from. Interesting. Other than that, nothing else is dripping. So that could just be a line not being tight. Or it could be a hole in one of these metal lines. I'm not sure, but we'll trace that down here in a minute, I think. All right, we're going to check the alternator and a couple things real quick. Ready? Go for it. On. Back off. Yeah. On. Yeah, it's working. All right. Might as well fire it.
Is that rear end pressurized? It's not, for sure.
Yeah. Like where the gear wheel and stuff is?
The whole rear axle? No.
It's a little foggy in here. But we checked, clutch works, can move it just a little bit. I don't want to do too much. We got too much stuff piled in here. Looked like the steel line back here was leaking, but now Phil's not seeing it leak. So I don't know, we got to figure that one out. But we need to step outside because we're about ready to, if you want to, we're about ready to get asphyxiated and get a little dumber than we already are. All right, all of our fill just took off and most of the exhaust fumes have exited out of the barn. So pretty happy. Got it running. Don't really have any significant, I don't have any leaks really up here, just in the back there. It's either that steel line, but that second time we started it, or there at the end when I tried the clutch, it Phil said he couldn't see it leaking, so I don't know. But good news is that it runs, it moves, not very far because it just couldn't today. The alternator's not charging. He did check that, so we'll take that off. And then we also need to do some work with the alternator to get the so the electronic tach can go to that. And but I'm pretty happy with my battery cables. Need to finish doing some wiring. You can see the mess of wires coming out of there, and a lot of that stuff's not going to be used. I got wires hanging back here that all this goes to the back, and I will probably eliminate most of this and run new wiring back because there's a lot of bare spots on those wires. And you can see it's not a lot of fluid, but there is some fluid down there, so we'll get that figured out before we put the fuel tank in, which is why I didn't want to put the fuel tank in before we did this. And but overall, it's a good day. I do want to put the muffler on the next time we start it, because without the muffler it sounds it's loud. My ears are ringing. I'm a little hoarse from all the fumes, but from the exhaust. But anyway, yeah, good day. I know Nick, Ohio MM is going to be ready to come drive this thing, so I got to go out of town tomorrow. I'll try to get this video uploaded tonight, and yeah, it's been a long project, but we're running. And like I said, I can get the white cast piece up on the front, and probably get the hoods and all on here coming up soon. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. Good day. It's a little nerve-wracking there for a little bit, but you just don't know how stuff's wired up sometimes. And but now that we got a good idea, now everything should go together pretty quickly. So hope you enjoyed it. Hope, well, I know a lot of you have made comments. Everybody's been ready to hear this thing run. We heard it today, so now it's just getting it finished and getting it out where we can go drive it some. But thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And got a whole lot more videos coming. Just finishing this, and then we got other projects we got to do. And I do want to say thanks to Oliver Phil. I want to add this in here at the end. He's a great help, good friend, and he's good at, I really appreciate all the work that he does for me and how he helps me get things done. And so thank you, Oliver Phil. And if you haven't watched his videos, like he's got a new video out on redoing the Vickers pump, the hydraulic pump, and he's doing that Cummins swap in the 1355. So check him out. But thanks, Phil. And all right, we'll see you guys in the next video.